A man is accused of sleeping with his killer when he was a teen. Let's put it up full mass. The family of Robert Davis Wright, 19 years of age, who was accused of killing local journalist Josh Kruger on the left, said that Davis was just 15 when he and Kruger began a years-long relationship involving drugs. And that Davis told them Kruger was threatening to post sexually explicit videos of him online before, police say, Davis shot Kruger. This is according to the Philadelphia Inquirer. Let me give you background on Davis. This has some twists and turns. Damica Davis and her older son, Jalen Reason, said in an interview that Davis faced mental health issues from a young age. He struggled to control his anger in school, his mother said, partially because of the absence of his biological father in his life, and often got into fights. When he was about 15, she said, his troubles intensified after he started sneaking out in the middle of the night and coming home high on drugs. They said Davis told them he was seeing an older white woman he met online who worked for the government, end quote. They frequently saw the name Josh pop up in messages on his phone, they said. And when they posed a question to Josh, who Josh was, Davis told them it was the woman's brother who was gay. It was only later in their call with him Friday, they said, that Davis told them he had been seeing Kruger all along. Kruger worked for the city, including the Office of Homeless Services from 2015 to 2020, which lines up with when they said Davis initially told them he'd started seeing the woman who worked in the government. And they followed Davis to Kruger's block on Watkins Street before, they said, desperate to find out where he was going and getting drugs. They trailed behind and watched as he turned onto Watkins Street, but then couldn't figure out which house he was going into, they said. Davis sometimes returned home with expensive gifts, such as designer belts and Gucci pants, they said, and would tell his family the woman bought them for him. He sometimes stayed out until early morning, they said, and returned under the influence of drugs. They found needle, pill, and other drug paraphernalia in his pockets and believed he became addicted to meth. So let me give you the background on the murder of Kruger, 39. At 39 years of age, he was killed after a man entered his Point Breeze home in the middle of the night, police said, and shot him 7 times at the base of his stairs. Surveillance video near the scene and tips from Kruger's friend and family led detectives to Davis. And the warrant was issued for his arrest a few days later. Police described the pair as acquaintances and said Kruger was trying to help Davis get through life. That was the police narrative. The family's contention come as detectives separately discovered and are investigating what multiple law enforcement sources have called explicit photos and explicit messages in Kruger's phone. The sources who requested anonymity to discuss an ongoing investigation did not say whether the images or messages were connected to Davis, but said they were disturbing and have been turned over to the Department's Special Victims Unit for further analysis. Police sources say Kruger was concealing parts of his life and that meth was found in his bedroom. Still, news of his death left many shocked and devastated. City and state leaders shared statements celebrating his life and supporting and his support for vulnerable communities. Police, meanwhile, are working to figure out how all this fits together. I think I know how it fits together quite well. It's what the kid said. It is obviously a horrific tragedy that someone takes the life of somebody else. Understand the context and narrative here. Initially, this was presented to us as basically a random act of an out-of-control thug who happened to be a young Black child. But all of a sudden, we now see evidence of a sexually inappropriate relationship with a minor. We see evidence of drug use with a minor. And now the police are struggling to figure out how this all fits together. I'm sure the young man would tell you. All right, David, thoughts here?
This is a sad story all the way around. I mean, it was obviously sad what happened to Mr. Davis when he was 15. It's sad all the issues that he has had. It's sad that this person who was so well regarded, I suppose, in the homeless community in the city of Philadelphia would have to lose his life this way. But these things tend to be a little bit more complex than the initial read of the initial story. And unfortunately, sometimes when you peel back all the layers of all this, sometimes it gets even more sort of horrifying and disturbing.